Alright, so we are back with another build your team challenge, but today we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's get into it. Alright, so as you guys can see here, we have $15 to build our JJK team, but there's some conditions. First off, you can only grab one person from the $5 bracket, which is very, very key here. And also, as we look at this chart, it is an anime only chart here, guys. So that is also key. Now, before we get into the video, I would like to thank Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. What is Surfshark VPN, you ask? Surfshark encrypts your data so you can travel the web freely and well protected. But not only does it do that, you can change your location by changing your IP addresses. So just like Todo's Boogie Woogie, you can change locations as fast as a click with your finger. With over 3,200 servers, Surfshark is giving you access to over 60 countries. That's a lot. For instance, with Netflix in the US, you don't have a lot of options to anime exclusives, but you can change your location to Japan, and now look at that. You can access a whole library of exclusive anime. You can use it in 3 different ways. You can use it as a mobile app, or you can use it as a desktop app, a browse extension. If you want to get started today, Surfshark is making it really easy for you guys. Now check this out, they're giving away 83% off plus 3 months free. That is the best duo I've ever seen since Itadori and Todo. Are you kidding me? But Rob, what's the catch? The only catch is that you have to type in the promo code SHONEN when you're clicking that link in the description. That's it. And let's say for whatever blasphemous reason it is that you decide to change your mind. Well, Surfshark is giving you guys a 30-day money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. You can start right now by clicking the link in the description, and don't forget to use promo code SHONEN for the great offer. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Now this is tough, man. You know what I'm gonna do? My first $4, let me grab Todo. I need to grab Todo for his brute strength. I mean, the man is a master of harnessing his cursed energy into attack power, but he also has great intellect. He was actually teaching Itadori how to box while he's boxing him. He was also teaching him in their fight together against Hanami. He also showed us that he knows the importance of the use of the Black Flash. He sees the potential in other people, which makes him a great teammate to fight with, and his power is just so immense that he can box with the top tier special grade curses. You gotta grab Todo on this chart, hands down. So now I'm left with only $11 here, and I'm gonna hold off on the $5 bracket just a little longer because I want to make sure I grab everybody else that I want to grab before I get somebody in the top tier bracket. At the $4 bracket, who's to the left of Todo? Is that not Itadori? Come on to my team, Itadori, for another $4. Yes, Itadori has a similar fighting style to Todo because they're both close-range melee fighters. We get all of that. But I'm grabbing Itadori for one obvious reason. If worse comes to worse, have no fear. Sukuna is here. Are you kidding me? Of course I have to take Itadori because he is the vessel of Sukuna. Now, I would like to mention one thing that Nobara once stated. She stated that because Itadori is the vessel for Sukuna, this means that any of the super deadly poisons that are going to be put onto Itadori's body, he can resist all of them. Do you know what this means? Let's look back at the chart. This means that the cursed brothers that we've seen in their fight against Nobara, one's obviously in the $4 bracket, they have no effect on an Itadori with their poison techniques because he has Sukuna in his body. A lot of the domain expansion users have no effect on Itadori because ding ding ding, we got Sukuna. What are they doing if Sukuna's in their domain? This means Mahito's domain is rendered useless. This means Jogo's domain is rendered useless. I can go on and on. None of them can hang with a Sukuna when it comes to domain expansion. So I have to grab Itadori, and let's not forget to mention that Itadori and Todo in a duo are probably the best here. Perfect synchronicity, boxing against Hanami. Itadori was just learning how to use the Black Flash that day, and Todo was bringing the best out of Itadori. They will work perfectly together. I have no problem spending $8 for the two of these guys. Now with $7 left, I'm a little bit conflicted, I'm not gonna lie, because I know I have to save $5 for the top tier bracket. You just have to do it. But I don't know if I should spend my $2 on Toge, who is in the $2 bracket, or if I should break it up and start looking down into the $1 bracket. I want to grab Toge, but I'm not, because if we look at the $1 bracket, I can make some plays here. I'm gonna grab Nobara for $1. Hear me out. I'm not doing it because she's Itadori's teammate. I'm grabbing Nobara for the sole fact that her cursed techniques are very interesting to me. Her cursed technique with the straw dolls effectively gives her the ability to play the opponent's hand against them. Nobara is literally a walking Uno reverse card. We've seen this in the battle against the cursed brothers where Nobara literally played their poison against them. She flat out told them that if I die, you die. and she forced their hand, and that's what ultimately led to their demise. Nobara is perfect to have on my team because she can play the opponent's hands against them. Now, if we add in the teamwork aspect of things, she understands where Itadori lies as a melee fighter. She can trust Itadori to attack the front, and she will be great support because of this technique. So I have to grab her for $1. With that pickup, I have $6 left. I'm looking down in the $1 bracket again, and who is to the right of Nobara? We have Miwa. I'm grabbing Miwa for $1. Now, I'm not going into this expecting anything extravagant from Miwa. Clearly, MAKI brought her down to reality. MAKI made her look pedestrian, so we get all of that. But there's one thing that I found impressive in her battle against MAKI that a lot of people overlook. You see, when MAKI was fighting against her sister in Mine, she just closed in on Mai and it was GG. It was game over. But in the fight against Miwa's technique to imbue her sword with cursed energy and pretty much coat it in cursed energy forced MAKI's hand to not only attack from long range, but to try to disarm her in order to win. And this does not mean that MAKI couldn't beat Miwa in a sword fight, but this means to me that Miwa might have some hidden potential, because if you're forcing someone to disarm you rather than to square up with you in a sword fight, there's something there that we're missing. So I do believe that Miwa's ability to imbue her sword with cursed energy, it makes her a little bit more formidable than we previously thought. Now it's game time. I only have $5 left, y'all. Let's do it. In the $5 bracket, we have straight powerhouses: Mahito, Jogo, Hanami, and Nanami. I'm leaving Nanami off. Nanami's great, he's precise in his movements, but Mahito made him look human. Mahito brought him down to earth, and we know that once he's in Mahito's domain, it's pretty much game over for him. But when we look at the other three cursed fighters on this chart, we can say that they've all fought against a Gojo or a Sukuna level threat. Now, did they have a shot? No way in hell did they have a shot. But we can look at their fights against these top tier combatants and try to see which one would be perfect for my team. Mahito was boxing against Itadori and Nanami in a duo, which is also a great duo like an Itadori and Todo. But the difference here is that Nanami had no shot once Mahito unlocked his domain. However, Itadori has Sukuna. I already picked up Sukuna on my team, so Mahito is pretty much done without his domain expansion. We can move on to Hanami, who is a beast all around. Hanami was boxing against pretty much all of the students. Hanami is absolutely crazy, but the moment Gojo pulled up, where is Hanami? Nowhere to be found, because this is what Gojo does. This is what Sukuna does. They are so much stronger than everybody else that the moment they arrive, you run. All right, so obviously I'm gonna leave Hanami off as well because I already have the Sukuna vessel in Itadori, and I would like to have somebody that also has a domain expansion. So that leaves me with none other than Jogo for $5. Who I'll take. Now, you can make a case for Mahito, you can make a case for the others, but I believe that Jogo is the best pick here. Listen to me. Jogo is not weak. Gojo is just that strong. I'll repeat it for the people in the back. Jogo only looked weak because he was fighting against Gojo on his first day out. I mean, come on. Gojo pretty much has one of the greatest domain expansions that we have ever seen. The Infinite Void, we get all of that. But if we remember correctly, he was keeping up with him. The only reason that it looked so bad is because Gojo has this limitless void technique where he surrounds his body in something that you cannot even approach him. You can't, your attacks will not land on a Gojo. This is the only reason why Jogo looked pedestrian in that fight. Other than that, he is otherworldly. $5, I'm doing it. His domain expansion was crazy, but Gojo is just that strong that he used it as a training session. But are we gonna sit here and act like the Mahito wouldn't be the same situation? Are we gonna sit here and act like Hanami wouldn't be used as a training session too? Let's stop playing around. Jogo is a perfect pickup for my team. You can actually make a case that Jogo's domain expansion is more impressive than Mahito's. So my team for $15 is Todo, Itadori, Nobara, Miwa, and Jogo. Let's see how we do. First thing I want to point out is the principal, because I don't believe we've seen the principal go all the way out. Also, I would like to bring up Fushiguro, because his domain expansion is different than any of the other domain expansions we've seen so far in the anime. It's not something that's bringing you into an enclosed space, but rather Fushiguro is pretty much taking over the entire land, and all of his Shinigami and things are able to pretty much move freely. He's also able to move freely within this covered space. So it's different different for people to counter that. So he is somebody we would have to look out for, absolutely. But everybody else, I believe we can hang with. I'm not worried about Mekamaru too much. I'm not worried about Panda too much. Hanami and Maki might be a really huge threat, but that's why I grabbed the Jogo, and that's why I have an Itadori and a Todo to go crazy. And then if worst comes to worst, we can always rely on a Sukuna, or we can rely on the walking Uno reverse card in Nobara, because she can literally flip the opponent's hand against them with her straw dolls technique. So this automatically makes my team somewhat unstoppable. You may be able to make a case with Hanami, the principal, maybe a Fushiguro, but I just had too much faith in the Sukuna. I had too much faith in the Todo. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below which teams you would make for $15. Again, remember, you can only grab one person in the $5 bracket. And with that, I'll see you next time.